July 4th.
July 4th.
July 4th.
July 4th.
July 4th.
July 4th.
July 4th. July 4th. July 4th. July 4th. July 4th. July 4th. July 4th.
Hey everyone, it's me Socrates again. Today is July 4th, my most favorite holiday of the whole year.
It's July 4th. Today's July 4th.
Hi everyone, it's me Socrates again. Today is July 4th, my most favorite holiday of the whole year. It's been such a long time and it's so great to be back. Throughout this past year, I've been trying to study to try to pass my last 2 engineering exams to try to get my license. I mentioned that last year for my July 4th video back in 2023. So I passed one of them back in February and I just took my second exam this past weekend and I'm waiting for test results coming out later, hopefully next week, hoping for the best. These last 2 exams that I had to take were extremely difficult, and I would say this most recent exam that I just took is probably the hardest exam ever. 55 questions in 2.5 hours. If you do the math, that leaves around 2 minutes and 45 seconds per question. Now it takes you around 30 seconds to read a question, then you have like at least 15 seconds to decide if you're doomed or not, and then pretty much you don't have much time to figure stuff out. Some of the questions are calculation based, we've got a bunch of questions that are conceptual based, and whatever the case is, they're all hard questions. And if you get lucky, you might get a really quick question that you can answer in less than 30 seconds. But point being is that the exam was very difficult. And throughout, again, the past 12 months, just been studying every single day, trying to nail these concepts in my head so that when it comes time to the exam, I can just answer these questions as fast as I can. But then again, even no matter how hard you study for these exams, what I can say now that I've taken both now is there's always going to be those questions that you just cannot figure out or you never prepared for because you wouldn't even know what they're going to ask you at some point. And at that point, you just got to figure it out and hope for the best. So whatever the case is, I hope that the test results come out really great, that hopefully I passed coming next week when I find out. I pray every day. Whatever happens, everything will be okay. If I do have to retake it, then I'll just retake it until I pass, and then after that, this is my last exam. So there's a total of 4 exams. This is test number 4. After I pass this one, I'm pretty much a free man. And then I'll be able to have more time to really, do all the stuff, all my passions, all my hobbies, doing more video, photography, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much how the past year has been going for me. Just a lot of studying, staying focused, doing my best, trying to pass these exams, and really trying to solidify the foundations of my career. But I would say the other highlights for me this year are really, priorities, right? When it comes time to shifting gears to, let's say, focusing on this career in this particular example, you got to shift gears. You have to put sacrifices sometimes into like social gatherings. All these extracurriculars that you've been doing, you might have to, do a bit less of that so that you can put full focus and more energy and time to trying to pass these exams and, get your career going. And it's tough. It's really tough because my typical routine, besides going to grad school, undergrad, school, is just study, and then weekends I go to church, I help out with my church youth group, all that. But when it came time to studying for these exams, it was a very big shift in time allocation and energy into doing more studying and then much less of helping out with the church group throughout the past year. Now, obviously not ideal, but when it comes time to it, you really have to shift gears to really, focus on yourself, focus on your development. You have to do what you have to do at certain times, and certain things, as you know, are time sensitive. And if you miss the boat on that, or if you don't allocate your energy and time correctly, then it's just going to really mess you up, long term. So for everyone out there, we have a bunch of super important things that we have to take care of in our lives. We have our priorities, we have our obligations, responsibilities, but one of the most important things is maintaining that balance in life. Yeah, there's all of these things you have to focus on, whatever you have going on in your lives, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your life. And that's where the balance is so important, because you can spend some time, you can spend an hour or two with some friends, have some drinks, have some milk tea, go to a restaurant, catch up with friends. And then the other days of the week, you can focus on all the important stuff in your lives, right? For me, I had a pretty much throughout the entire weekdays, and maybe only one day in a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, I would hang out with friends for a good hour or two. It's really good, mental health. That's super important, especially when you're doing some rigorous things like this, like activating your brain every single day to try to pass exams. It takes a toll on you, and that's where you really have to understand yourself really well. Some people, they go, oh, all I need is hang out with somebody once a month. Some people, they need to hang out with people once a week just to maintain their mental health sanity as they go through this whole process until they're finally done with, say, exams. So that's another really important thing. It's everyone has their own life circumstances, which I think is if you need to take more time off versus another person to really get your mind back in the game, to relax and calm yourself down and to stay focused, then so be it. It's fine. Everyone is different, and don't even feel bad about it. If you need to take, for example, for my church group, some people, they can still do full-time, helping out with the church group every Saturday, every Sunday. For me, honestly, this is literally what happened. I had to take literally every month off, and I was only able to help out the church group once a month. That was what I promised to myself. That is what I tried to do, and that's what I made work out. Again, some people are able to just do every single week and still do full grinding out their studying. Good for them, but for me, it's that's gonna destroy me. I cannot do that. So my point is do what you have to do, stay focused, and hope for the best. Get through whatever you have to get done. And then once you take care of all those stuff that you had to take care of, then you can reshift your energies to the stuff that you really want to do, right? So that's the number one important thing. Is you need to know when to shift gears, and you need to know how to shift gears properly. And that really depends on the person. The next important thing is having a really good, solid support system. I'm talking you need really good friends. And of course, you have your families out there, you have your relatives, anybody out there that can support you emotionally, mentally throughout these processes that you have to get through. Super important, especially I think the older we get, the more complicated our problems are, and the more complicated they get, or the more responsibilities we take on. And it's so important that you remember, and you also reach out to those people, to help you out, to give you guidance, to give you advice, and to be there especially when it gets very difficult. So for me, I'm nearing 30 years old. There's a lot for me to learn, and I reach out to some people, that whenever things get difficult for me emotionally or very, all that stuff, I reach out to them, ask for their perspective, and pretty much it really helps. They encourage me, especially when it came to these final two exams. Like I mentioned, very difficult exams, very stressful. You probably see all the gray hairs on my head. I don't know if that's because of studying or whatever I have going on in my life. But point being, just being able to talk to all those people that are very supportive, very good friends of mine, they're very, encouraging. They said, you got this, Socrates, you can do this, keep it up, you're doing fine, you're doing great. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with all y'all, if it weren't for them, and especially my family as well, I don't know if I would have been able to pass this exam, or I would have been very miserable emotionally, just grinding out, studying all my workbooks and all that stuff. Without that support system, it's very tough, to be motivated without such people around you, right? So yeah, it's important. And that goes for anything in life, I think. Whatever challenges you have, or as you navigate through your lives, make sure you have a very solid, good support system of people, friends, family. And likewise, on the flip side, you want to be there for them as well, especially, when they go through their tough times as well. The last thing I want to say is it's been a very great blessing, being able to be surrounded by really great people out there. I've met a lot of really nice people, really great people, got to connect with many others as well. Every year is a new experience, and I'm just very, happy to be able to, be there for other people, and, very thankful as well for having all of them be there for me as well. I thank God all the time for a really great life. Of course, life is challenging. I won't deny that. I'm always trying my best, and again, thank you all, to you as well, anybody that's watching, for being supportive, for watching, of course, and for being there for me as well, and for journeying with me throughout this wonderful life. I'm definitely trying to make the most out of my life, trying my best to be a good person to other people as well. So again, thank you so much for your continued support. I'm really excited, especially for this year, because, like I mentioned, this is my 4th and final exam, potentially, if I pass. And at that point, my career, in terms of the foundations of my career is going to be complete. I'm already done with school. I have a job. So at that point, I'm going to be a free man. I mean, I've been free, but you know what I mean? Like, this is the last thing in the back of my mind that I know that I need to get done at some point. And after that, I'll be free to pursue my passions, enjoy the rest of life, continue working, traveling the world, all that good stuff. So it's a very big milestone in my life, to be honest. It's like around a 10-year journey, you know, entering college the first day and then getting professors out there to tell you like, okay, you know, welcome to this career path. This is what it's going to look like for you, you know, whenever you get that all done, get your license and all that. And then 10 years later, we have reached that point. It's been a very great journey so far, very difficult, but I'll say, you know, obviously I grew a lot throughout these past 10 years and of course throughout the 20 plus years of living. Life is great. Thank you all so much. Hope that y'all enjoy your July 4th weekend with your families and friends. Stay safe, enjoy the fireworks, and I'll see you all next time. This is me, Socrates. Thank you so much again. Take care. Peace out.